Lookout. You are located on Mount Bental, standing 1,165 meters above sea level. In front of you is the Quneitra Valley, full of orchards and vineyards, which has become a symbol of the flourishing agriculture here on the Golan Heights. This success is a result of the unique porous soil, the excellent climatic conditions, plenty of rain, and the perseverance and skill of the farmers. The Golan Orchard in the valley is a popular site for self-picking a variety of fruits. During the spring and summer months, you can pick cherries, berries, plums, nectarines, and apples, just to name a few. A host of activities awaits the whole family at this site, including tractor tours in the fields. There are many vineyards in the valley as well, providing grapes to the Golan Winery in Katsrin. The winery has earned international fame for its fine wines, and a visit there is well worth the experience. You can also see a complex of white buildings in the valley. This is the main base of UNDOF, the United Nations Disengagement Observer Force. Their role is to monitor the disengagement agreement signed between Israel and Syria after the Yom Kippur War in 1974. The only border passage between Israel and Syria is located close to this base. It serves mainly for Druze residents of the Golan and UN soldiers. To the left of the camp and beyond the cultivated fields, the ruins of the town of Quneitra can be seen. The Circassians who settled there during the Ottoman Empire in the 19th century turned Quneitra into a major town in this region. From the establishment of Syria as an independent state in 1946 until 1967, Quneitra served as the central military base for the Syrian army. During the Six-Day War in 1967, the Israeli army climbed the Golan, and after 2 days of courageous and bitter fighting, captured the region. After the war and the Syrian rejection of the Israeli peace proposal, Israel began to settle the Golan. The original members of Kibbutz Marom Golan, the first Israeli community on the Golan, settled around the outskirts of Quneitra. In 1972, the kibbutz was moved to its present location on the western side of this hill. You can listen to further explanation of the kibbutz and the surrounding scenery at another audio explanation station near the balcony of the restaurant. This region faced another military challenge in 1973 during the Yom Kippur War, when the Syrian army launched a surprise attack on Israel and invaded the Golan. Only a small number of regular Israeli troops were there to face the onslaught of the Syrian army and its tanks. But they fought hard and bravely and were able to stop the Syrian invasion. When the Israeli reserve forces joined the battle, the Syrian army was pushed completely out of the Golan. In a later counterattack, the Israeli army occupied further territories deep inside Syria, 20 kilometers from the border. After the war, Israel and Syria signed a disengagement agreement, and Israel pulled back from the territories occupied in the Yom Kippur War. As a goodwill gesture, Israel also agreed to withdraw from the town of Quneitra. Today, the borderline passes just beyond the cultivated fields in front of you. The Syrians left Quneitra in ruins, and instead built a new town that can be seen just beyond the old town. Since signing the disengagement agreement in 1974, this border has been the quietest border that Israel has ever known with any of its neighbors. To your right rises Mount Avital with numerous antennas standing on its peak. This hill, just like Mount Bental, is part of the ridge created by a series of volcanoes spread along the Israel-Syrian border. This ridge is of vast importance for the defense of the State of Israel, especially for intelligence gathering purposes. On a clear day, you can see the wind power plant on Mount Asania. This is a unique project for the Golan that involves 10 wind turbines for electricity production. The power plant's yearly clean energy production provides electricity to over 4,000 households. The unique topography of the Golan creates wind conditions that are optimal for wind energy production throughout the year. 4 brilliant seasons are the hallmark of the Golan. Summers with moderate temperatures, autumn with an array of golden colors, winter in which you can hike along flowing streams and snow-capped peaks, and spring which surrounds you with fragrances and colors of the blossoming orchards and the wildflowers. From this point, we recommend you continue north to visit the Valley of Tears and view the film of the tank battle, Oz 77, at Kibbutz El Rom. The special deer sanctuary in the forest at Har Odom is also worth the visit.